Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Marie Holiday. It is October the 31st, 2020, Saturday morning. I got about maybe 7:35 a.m. and I hope everybody had a wonderful work week. Before we get started, I just want to remind my viewers and subscribers, if you haven't subscribed, to hit that subscribe button and to hit that notification button. And with that being said, let's get started. But before we get started, I do want to give the audience a quick update. As the audience is aware, I made a deliberate decision to remove sugar from my life. I am now on day 90 with having removed sugar from my life. And the audience is also aware of one of the things I do for health benefits. I drink a spice mixture about 3 days a week. And what I have in here is china pepper, black pepper, ginger, nutmeg. I throw in a green tea. And sometimes I put a dash of vinegar in this mixture. And I did that, got a dash of vinegar in the mixture. So I'm going to go ahead and drink my health benefit spice mixture. It's a water base. I make it lukewarm so I can just drink it, get it down. We all know spices does just all around phenomenal wellness. It prevents high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, high cholesterol. It does wonders for the skin, the organs, all the way around. And once I drink that, I always follow it with water. And this morning, I'm also follow it with a sip of coffee because I hadn't had my coffee yet this morning, so I got to have my coffee. And by the way, what I do with my coffee, remember, I'm no sugar, but one of the things I do with my coffee, and this is a great coffee tip. I've been drinking coffee ever since I've been 5 years old. So my point, what I do with my coffee, I add heavy whipped cream in the coffee. Whipped cream has 0 sugar, and I'm telling you, it just really brings out the taste of the coffee. You can taste the heavy whipped cream. Try it out. I've been drinking my coffee like this for years. So with that being said, let's get down to today's topic. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. The focus of this topic is it takes a woman to raise a woman. I'm here to tell you. Yeah, the father plays a role, but that woman plays more of a role in raising a infant girl into a woman. So that's going to be the focus of my topic. Yeah, both parents set the stage and play a role. You know, just like they may say it takes a man to raise a man, I'm here to tell you, because I'm a woman, and women, pay attention if you got a daughter. I'm speaking to specifically if you are a woman with a daughter. I don't care if you got a son, but specifically a daughter, pay attention. My daughter, 27 years old, and I've raised that woman. So I'm no parenting expert. I'm just going to share with the audience in the world my understanding of my experience, or how my mother raised me, how my grandmother raised my mother, and how I raise my daughter. So if you are a woman, pay attention. So yeah, both parents play a role, but that woman, if it's a daughter, play more of a critical role, and I'm going to explain why. In raising a daughter, in raising my daughter, I'm gonna just break it down. I'm gonna make it personal. In raising my daughter, I think the key thing for any woman that you need to hear, you need to model certain behaviors in front of that infant girl all the way up until she becomes an adolescent, preteen, adolescent, teenager, young adult, full-grown adult. From the moment at birth, the role modeling should begin. I'm here to tell you. And when I say role model, that includes communication, because children, that young girl who is going to one day become a woman, they are listening to how you communicate with all people. Your significant other or your husband or your significant other, family members, people in the neighborhood, they listen to the words that come out of your mouth. I'm here to tell you. I remember my child was, my child was 5 years old. I remember this. But remember, they paying attention from birth all the way up. And I wasn't aware that my daughter was listening to sometimes when people may be conversating with me. And one of the things I still say it now, is if a person asks me how old I am, I will always say, oh, women don't tell their age. So I remember one day my daughter was, we were shopping for her school supplies, and we were standing in line to pay for her school supplies, and a woman just started conversating with my daughter. And the woman asked my daughter at the time was 5 years old. The woman asked my daughter, how old? She asked my daughter, what's your name? My daughter said her name, Anita. How old are you? My daughter said, women don't tell their age. And when she said that, I bust out laughing, because I know she probably heard me say that a million times. So I say that to say we have to model communication. They listen to how we communicate with people. They listen to the words that come out of our mouth. So if you cursing like a sailor, that child gonna curse like a sailor. So pay attention to how we communicate. Another example of what I mean by role modeling in front of that daughter, they pay attention to your interaction with people. They pay attention to your body language. I don't care if that interaction is with a male or a female or someone in the neighborhood or within the family. That daughter is paying attention to that mother and how she interacts, how she interfaces with all people. So if that woman is all up on somebody inappropriately in front of that daughter, then that daughter is going to emulate that within her life. So they pay attention to that mother interaction with people from all walks of life. But let me give you another example. I remember one time my daughter was young, and you ain't thinking nothing of it. I wasn't thinking nothing of it until she told me that she didn't appreciate interaction I had. You know how you can be at the grocery store at somebody and you run into a friend that you know and you haven't seen that friend in a while. It was a male friend, and I hadn't seen the person in months. And because you know this person and you respect this person, I greeted the person with a friendly, brief, 5-second hug. My daughter was in the grocery store with me. That girl could have been less than 8, 9 years old. I didn't think anything of it. But later on, when we got in the car, my daughter stated to me she was mad at me because she saw me hugging a man that was not her father. So my point is, if you want to be a role model to your daughter, you got to model certain interaction. And so when she revealed this to me, I use that as a teaching moment to educate my daughter and to explain to her that this was a coworker of mine who I used to work with, who I hadn't seen in a while, and I broke it down to her and I stated, when you know someone and you trust them, that could be considered an appropriate form of interaction. So these children, these girls, pay attention to how that mother interacting with all people. So if they see that mother out there running around with all different men, interfacing and interacting with all these different men, that girl is watching this. And you may not be aware of the feelings that's going on the inside of girl who's watching her mother interacting in inappropriate ways with different men. Another example of role modeling for your daughter is that mother needs to be mindful of how she dresses. That mother should not be dressing like she's 15 years old and you got a young girl, a young daughter who's watching you. If you dress as a mother, if you are dressing with your butt hanging out, with your breasts hanging out, and you got a daughter, that daughter is watching you. If you don't want your daughter to dress like that, that mother need to emulate. There you go. You need to role model the behavior you want your daughter to emulate as she become a preteen, a teenager, 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, etc. My daughter, 27 years old, and I still emulate as a mother the behavior of my interaction and how I dress in front of my daughter. Because I don't want my daughter, especially being in the military, drowning in a sea of men where the men are outnumbered the women 301. And I know my daughter in the United States Navy in that fleet out there surrounded by men. Just like when I was in the military, before she was even born, I was surrounded by a sea of men. I'm here to tell you. And if it wasn't for my mother, who role model for me from birth, all the way up until I went in my early 20s, then I would never have survived that interface and the interaction as a U.S. Marine traveling all over the world surrounded by a sea of men. And I'm here to tell you. So this is a topic I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. Another example in terms of how that woman needs to be able to raise that girl into a woman. Spend time educating your daughter, talking to your daughter, educating your daughter about the importance of finances. Be able to sit down and talk about and educate your daughter about relevant information, not just no conversation of no substance. You got to know what's going on up here inside of your daughter's mind, or as she evolves into a woman. My daughter, 27 years old, and I'm here to tell you, even now, when I'm having a conversation with my daughter, the conversation is going to be a substance. Yeah, the conversation is going to evolve over time, but I got to know, how are you doing? What's going on up here? How things in the Navy? How are you interacting with people in that fleet surrounded by a sea of men? I'm having conversations of substance. Have you thought about what method of birth control pill are you using? Are you protecting yourself from diseases and HIV because everybody ain't what you think they are? Those are the kind of conversations I'm having with my daughter. I'm going deep. And see, her father can't go deep the way I'm going deep because he's not a woman. I'm here to tell you. And I'm going to pass this video. I'm always forwarding my videos to my daughter. She's in Japan right now. They're 13 hours ahead of me. So if it's, I'm going to make sure I forward this video to my daughter. And if you are a mother, you need to pass this video to yourself. So educate, have discussions with your daughter of substance, about finances, about how you protecting yourself from STDs. What method of birth control pill do you want to use when you're talking about issues like that? And the most important thing when you're talking to your daughter, I always tell my daughter, I don't care where you go, I don't care where you go on this planet, I don't care where you go in your career with the military, or whether you stay in or get out, you always keep God first in everything you do. I'm here to tell you. And if you run up against something, I want my daughter to know that get me involved so we can talk through this together, so we can brainstorm. There we go. Because just like I want to hear about the good stuff that's going on in my daughter's life, I want to also know about and hear about when that girl is up against challenges in that fleet protecting this world. You better believe it. That is what I'm talking about. It takes a woman to raise a woman. And I have done my job. And a job will never be over. As long as my daughter is on this planet, my job as a mother will never end. I don't care if the girl become 20, 30, 40, 50 years old. As long as she is on this planet as a mother, you will forever have to be a mother and guide that daughter. Even though the dynamics of that relationship change as they become older, but your job as a mother does not end as long as that girl is on the face of this earth. I'm here to tell you. So whether you know it or not, mothers, whether you know it or not, whether or not you accept this, whether or not you agree with this, I'm here to tell you, if you got a daughter, you are a role model, whether you accept that or not. Your behavior that your daughter is seeing in you will be emulated in her, and she might not even know it, but it's there. So I hope you got something out of this. I'm telling you, it takes a woman to raise a woman. And I'm here to tell you. And they may stray off a little bit. I'm not saying my daughter never strayed off, but as long as I know that I did what I'm supposed to do and continuously do what I'm supposed to do as a mother, then hey, I lose no sleep. Key thing, keep God first, because they're gonna, when you done your job as a parent, your child, if they veer off a little bit, they gonna know inside of them that they know they wrong. I'm here to tell you. So with that being said, this is the topic I've been wanting to talk about for a long time in relation to it takes a woman to raise a woman. I'm here to tell you. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and I will see y'all again next time. Simplify. Have a great one.